And welcome in, everybody, to another episode of 10-Year-Olds Take. I'm Brad Radici, sitting next to my friend who is munching on some chocolate right now, Kevin Radici.
Yes, it's me, Kevin.
Kevin, what kind of candy are you eating?
Feastables, this is not a sponsor for Mr. Beast, by the way. But
On
don't
the-
eat it.
On the eve of Halloween, you're already dabbling into the candy, are you?
Yeah, I guess I am.
Well, let's talk about your Halloween costume. Friday night, it's Halloween. What are you going as?
For all the Star Wars fans, an X-Wing pilot.
An X-Wing pilot. In the past, the last year you went as Peter Pan?
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter Pan last year.
People thought I was like this guy from the video game called?
I don't know. You've gone as Cupid one year. You've gone as
No, I didn't.
Marty McFly.
Yeah, Marty McFly, but that
1 year.
year when I was Cupid, I didn't go.
Oh, you didn't go trick-or-treating?
No.
Too embarrassed, were you?
Yeah. Also, I was Jack Sparrow once.
It might have been the toga. But you know, the day before Halloween is happy birthday to Carrie Radici. Happy birthday, Carrie. Kevin, how old is Mom?
Like 50.
Okay, don't answer that question. You are in so much trouble. That was a trick question, and you failed. You completely failed.
I was joking.
You never give away a young lady's age. Golly, Kevin. Well, you live and you learn, and you might not live to see tomorrow. So we'll see how it goes. Speaking of not living to see tomorrow, let's talk about our Florida State Seminoles, Kev. 4-game losing streak.
We're cooked.
We're cooked. Florida State hosts Wake Forest Saturday night.
We're cooked.
What do we think about this game, Kev? It's
We're
really
cooked.
put up or shut up for Mike Norvell. They have to have a win in this one. What do you think about this Wake game?
Shut up.
Okay.
That's what I think. I think they're going to put in Kevin Sperry. I think he's going to do all right. But I think we're just going to get cooked because our defense can't do anything.
The real question is, will we finally break out the turquoise uniforms? It's Native American Heritage Month.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool to see. If I'm Mike Norvell and I'm staring down the Reaper, I might as well break out the uniforms I've never gotten to use. And if you guys hear cats fighting in the background, that's because they are. This is a low-budget production, so we can't quite stave off 2 cats fighting in the background.
And those 2 cats are my cats, Melly and Logan.
Now, if Florida State can show half the fight that those 2 cats do, we'll be okay. I think we're going to be fine against Wake Forest. Boy, their quarterback play is atrocious. They can hardly score any points against SMU, so I like the Noles in that one. Now, Kevin, speaking of atrocious, let's ask about our picks from last week and how am I doing?
You only got one right, I only got one right, and we got one wrong.
Producer Joe, how are we doing?
Brad, in looking at the picks and all of the data, it's easy to see that young Kevin is absolutely cooking you this season.
Well, Kev, the pick's not going so great for me. I know I had Arkansas. Auburn pulled a rabbit out of its hat defensively. I know we both liked Missouri against Vandy, but boy, Vandy keeps rolling.
I said Texas A&M was going to beat LSU.
That's right. I picked LSU, effectively sending Brian Kelly packing. Lots of job openings already. Of course, LSU, you have Penn State, you have Florida, a lot of big-time jobs open, and sadly, there's more to come. Kev, let's get to the game of the week.
It's time now for the game of the week.
All right, Kevin, we are breaking down Vanderbilt, the big winner, playing Texas this weekend. Normally, this wouldn't be a game of the week, but Vandy all of a sudden is good. It's not your daddy's Vandy, Kevin. It would actually be your great-great-great-granddaddy's Vandy. This is their best start since 1941. FDR was president. Which president was that? He doesn't know. A month later, Pearl Harbor happened. So 1941, Vandy's off to a hot start. They're sitting at number 9 in the AP poll. Their highest ranking since the 1930s, Kev. Can you believe it?
No. Well, yes.
Yeah. I guess what goes around comes around, and finally Vandy's back in the football world. Is that right?
I guess they are.
Well, they're playing Texas. Vandy's 7-1. Texas is 6-2. They're trying to steady things at home. If you can believe it, it's their first home game in over a month. But the problem is they'll be home, and we don't know what's going to happen with their quarterback, do we?
Yeah, Texas's star QB Arch Manning is in concussion protocol, which means the senior backup Matthew Caldwell could be under the center.
Yeah, now the only good news is he's a senior, so he's been around the block a few times, so it might not be a complete loss. And let's face it, Arch Manning isn't the Heisman hopeful that Texas had thought they'd be. But this game, again, I mentioned Texas. It's their first home game in a month. They're a slight favorite, just 2.5 points. So really, you might consider Vandy the favorite. Typically, you get 3 for just being at home. But this game last year, Kev, I mean, it was a tight one, wasn't it?
Yeah, last season Texas barely beat Vandy 27-24 in Nashville.
So this time they're on the road in Austin. Vanderbilt, of course, their deal is their quarterback, Diego Pavia. He's been impressive, almost a 70% completion percentage, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He has a bit of a rushing game, just enough to be dangerous, close to 500 yards there. But Kevin, their defense is really the story, isn't it, for Vandy?
Yeah, Vandy's defense holding opponents to about 18.8 points per game, which is
Pretty good.
Pretty good. And only 322.6 yards per game. So they're not somebody to mess around with.
No, and we joke about Vanderbilt, but they're a pretty well-rounded team. You don't become the AP 9th-ranked team in the country being terrible. We talked about their quarterback. We talked about their defense. The running game's solid. They're averaging almost 8 yards per carry per touch this year. That's second amongst FBS teams. They're the total package, but this might be one of their biggest tests, Kevin, because Texas, they can play some defense.
Yeah, Texas ranks 3rd nationally in run defense, allowing just about 81 rush yards per game and roughly 2.4 yards per carry, which is not the best.
So, Kevin, here's a fun little stat for you, something that you can keep track of on Saturday while you're eating your Halloween candy. When we do those challenges in College Football 26?
Oh, where, if we think the refs got it wrong?
No. Or, I mean, you have to complete 2 passes for 25-plus yards, plus 3 first downs.
Oh, I know it. Oh, to get, those players and packs.
Fun fact about Vanderbilt. They're undefeated this year. Now, granted, they're 7-1, but they're undefeated when they rush at least 4 yards on a play 10 or more times. So, track that. When they hit the 10th time they have a run of 4 more yards, easy peasy, Vandy is going to win. Now, one thing that is interesting, of course, if you're looking at the history, Vanderbilt hasn't won a road game versus a ranked opponent since 2007, so that'll be interesting. And lastly, Kevin, I guess the only thing we have to do is pick this game, and then B, what do you think about the entrances? Let's compare college football entrances. Bevo, you know who Bevo is?
Is it the horn?
The bull, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, him coming in versus Osceola on Renegade. What is better? The big bull running on the field or Osceola planting the spear in Tallahassee?
You go first.
You go first.
No, you go first. Ladies first.
Okay, I'm taking Osceola, okay? Osceola, there's nothing like it. If you haven't been to Florida State, you should go. That is the best tradition to start a football game of any of them, hands down. I don't care. If Bevo was on the field, Osceola would throw the spear through it.
If I had to pick, even if I wasn't a Florida State fan, I would still pick Osceola. It's a better experience and...
That is correct. Okay, Kevin, who are you taking in this game? You taking Vanderbilt or Texas?
You pick first.
You know what? I think Texas back at home is going to finally burst Vanderbilt's bubble. Vanderbilt is a great team, not a super great team. Texas is a playoff contender. They have the talent. I'm picking Texas at home to win a close one.
I've got Vanderbilt to win by 3.
Is that Vanderbilt or Vanderbilt?
Vanderbilt. Oh, I don't know.
Okay. He's got the Commodores. What would be your favorite Commodores song? Lady? Brick House. Yeah, you're a Brick House guy.
Yeah, I'm a Brick House guy.
Yeah, Brick House. Okay. Folks, thank you so much for listening to A 10-Year-Old's Take. We'll be back next week to break it all down again. I'm Brad. And I'm Kevin. And we'll see you next time.